Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Impact Gospel Radio. I am Charmaine Brown, your host, and I am blessed to be here with you today. Well, we have treats for you today, but before that, I want to welcome all the old persons, and I don't mean in age, people who normally watch the show. Welcome. And those new watchers, I welcome you with an open arm, both arms. I welcome you. And most of us wondering what this program is about. This is mental health, a holistic impact. I'll tell you about what this show is about in a little while. So, Impact Gospel Radio has a lot of resources. This is a platform where the founder and workers in this entity have resources to help you in any way you want to be helped. We have nurses, we have doctors, we have psychotherapists like myself, we have teachers, we have social workers, we have name it, we have it. That's what I'm saying. Most of us are going through a hard time and we have pride that we are not wanting to reach out to get the help we need. You have a responsibility for that. You're responsible for your health, your overall health. You're responsible for your family and friends. You're even responsible for strangers. So, this program is a broadcast that helps to preserve our mental health status. We look at our lives and see how it relates to others. I normally come with you with the Raymond family saga, where we look at Raymond and the family unit and the issues that they face, the joy that they go through, little hiccups and barriers that they go through, and what to do in those situations. We look at mental health issues and what they are, signs and symptoms of them, and how we can have tools in our toolbox to help ourselves and others around us. And so, as a mental health licensed, certified psychotherapist, I am here to help you navigate the world with my experiences and my stories, along with other persons in the community that are making impactful decisions. Here, I am here to help you with that. Okay, that's what this program is about. Today, we are going to have a guest in the house, and we are going to talk about mental health from a community perspective. The Raymond family saga. It wasn't last week. Sorry about that. Some things happened last week beyond our control, and so we didn't hear that last week. This week, the Raymond family saga will be on hold because I want to bring some information to you from a very special guest we have in the house today. And you will learn about this guest and what he does and how he impacts the world with his skills and knowledge. And I will introduce this person to you right now. So, give me a minute. I am right here. This person has been a teacher for over a decade. Throughout his career, he has taught in Jamaica and is currently teaching in Ontario, Canada. His experience with children has garnered him the skills to critically address and decode situations that some may find challenging. He has volunteered in different capacities, an avid lover of soccer, and believing in the development of our children and youth. He is currently the leader of our youth or of the youth ministry at his local church. He's a vice president for the youth soccer team in his community and the coach for his school soccer team. He loves to laugh and enjoy having fun in general. Let us welcome Marlon Douglas. Welcome, Marlon Douglas. We are privileged to have you here today.
Thank you.
And to recognize how you impact the world with your skills and knowledge and how things are going in your neck of the wood and with people you know. So my first question to you is, you have so many things under your hat. As a professional who works with children, what is your greatest motivating factors for your student?
Well, let me first say good night to your special guests that are, tuning in tonight. Good night to you, Charmaine. Thank you for doing the work that you're doing right now, as mental health is something that more is gone into these years. And the research is so great now that we can actually tackle these issues. But personally, as you asked, my greatest motivating factor is pretty much to see children growing. It's pretty much to see children growing and growing healthy growth. Because when we talk about um, growing, it's spiritual, it's mental, it's emotional, it's physical. So it's my greatest motivating factor is to just see these children grow.
So what I'm hearing, Mr. Douglas, is
Mhm.
you see the child or the children from a
Mhm.
holistic view. So if an era in that holistic picture is missing, for instance, that child is having a mental health issues,
Mhm.
how does that look in the children you see?
Well, again, as you pointed out, holistic approach. We sometimes nurture one side of a child's life, and then the other side gets depleted. If you remember the scripture said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God." And if you're not going to be listening a word that is from the scripture, then you'll be listening some other word. And oftentimes, people, as we grow up, you hear lots of negative thoughts that comes at you, and that actually damage you mentally, emotionally. And as such, we, as a person, as individuals, we have to be careful with our words. So we pour into the lives of these children mentally as we, go about our everyday lives.
So do you see many youths displaying mental health issues? What percentage and what are these issues you might see?
Well, it's definitely, I've seen it, and it's hard to say because oftentimes these goes undiagnosed. So someone can be sitting right amongst you, experiencing mental issues, and you have no idea. So it's good for us to, as individuals, and to be mindful, watchful, so that we can identify, different behaviors that may be associated with mental health, and just try to support people as we see them experiencing these situations.
I'm going to ask you one more question before we go for break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's not break time yet. Is it? One more question before we go for break. Um, so you have noticed a lot of behavioral issues,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Can you relate what these behaviors look like and how you have helped persons with some of these behaviors?
Well, it's different for each person. Everyone expresses behavior in a different form. What I can say is that we have seen behaviors such as withdrawal, seen behaviors such as just fear. We have seen defensive behaviors, because sometimes people can become defensive at times when they're experiencing certain mental illnesses. Um, we see risk behavior where people becomes physical with themselves and others. So we see self injury. We see people just acting out, um, as most will just identify aggressive behaviors towards another person or even towards themselves. So we see a wide range of behaviors. It's just for us, as I said before, as individual, to identify these behaviors and seek the support that is necessary to help. individuals as as we see these behaviors.
Okay. Everyone, we're going to take a break. Our special guest is Marlon Douglas, and he's a teacher, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Charmaine Brown. I am blessed to be here with you today. And Impact Gospel Radio. This is mental health, a holistic impact where we try to give you the tools that you need to help you as you navigate yourself into society to have a holistic well-being. And your mental health is one of the main things, because if your mental health is affected, every area in your life is affected. We have with us Marlon Douglas, a teacher who taught various places, Jamaica and Ontario, and we're talking about how we impact his young minds with his skills and knowledge. And so, welcome again, Marlon Douglas. So you said you have seen various mental health issues, behavioral issues with these kids that you try to groom. What are some strategies you as yourself put in place to help these young minds?
Well, as I said before, the behaviors are different. We see a wide range, but we have lots of counselors here in Canada that seeks to take up these individual on a case by case basis. However, as a classroom teacher, which we sometimes see this, we are first responders, kind of like a first aid. But then these people, I don't want us to trivialize, especially the work that you are doing, because you're an expert in this. So as we see these behaviors, yes, we do address them, but one has to also be careful, we address these behaviors, because we are definitely not certified experts. And let me just say that, because there's a level that it goes to, and there's lots of studying, so we don't want to trivialize the work that you know the professionals put in studying and understanding these behaviors to provide the best support. But we first address these behaviors by just making people feeling supported, making children feeling supported, so that they can have trusted adults that they can talk to. One of the greatest things you can do is listen. Someone shares something with you, is listening without judgment, non-judgmental listening, active listening, just being there for that person, you know, giving the person that support that they need at the point in time, but also seeking the professional help that that person may need, so that they can, overcome whatever struggles they have.
So that's good. Remember, everyone, that we're monitoring our comment section who are online. We are if you want to send us information to Impact Gospel Radio, if you want to send us information to www.mentalhealthhorizon.com or info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. We are here for you. We are here to help. Do not be afraid. Do not be scared. We are professionals and we maintain privacy and confidentiality in every area that we help you with. So back to you, Mr. Douglas. In your
Right.
area of influence, what is the youngest person you have seen displaying issues with mental health problems, or even behavioral issues?
It comes as young as maybe 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years old. I'm normally
Wow.
not in a kindergarten class, so my target group is grade 7 and 8 right now. But I do sometimes do projects with them, and you can see we have students in those grades that are displaying, mental illnesses. So yeah, it's
What
sad,
does
but
this
definitely,
sorry? What
you
does this
know,
behavior look like?
again,
These maladaptive behavior. What are we looking at so that persons out there who are listening to the show can identify with when their children are having these issues and address it with listening, attentive listening, and non-judgmental behavior. What are some of these
well,
issues?
again, as I said before, the anxiety is one of the behaviors that we see. We see withdrawal, and um, anxiety can be defined um, generally by, let me see, just a change in behavior. Um, if you see someone withdrawing from certain activity, they don't want to participate, they don't want to be around, people. Something happens, and you see them to themselves. Sometimes that can be a sign that they are experiencing some mental illnesses, and of such, we as the teachers in the classroom, we have to be very, very cognizant of these behavior, very, very keen to nip them right in the bud, because I can tell you, once anxiety is not treated, or is not supported, then you find that the behavior changes into something different. Um, and it will be a cry. It's a cry out loud. Sometimes it's a loud cry, not all the time, but sometimes it's a loud cry, and that's when you see the aggressive behaviors start coming out. So yeah, we see a wide range of behaviors, and it's just for us to understand what is happening, because not every behavior I would say we should say it's a result of mental illness. I'm not sure if we can attribute all behaviors to mental illness. You know.
So what I'm hearing is that not all behavioral issues that you see
Hmm.
is related to mental illness, but
Right.
might
Right.
related to the anxiety that they are feeling in the home or in their community, and
Right.
that the anxiety that they are feeling, if it's not addressed, or if their caregivers don't notice it and address it
Hmm.
immediately, it
Hmm.
can spill out of control.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will finish up with our interview with Marlon Douglas.
Impact. 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 Impact.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Charmaine Brown, and I'm blessed to be here with you today. We are on Impact Gospel Radio, and this program is mental health, a holistic impact, where we try to impact your life for you to be functional in society. We give you tools and resources for you to use in your life, in the life of your family members, friends, and even strangers in society. We have a special guest, Marlon Douglas is here, the teacher, and he has seen a lot of different behavioral issues that he said are not directly related to mental health, mental health diagnosis. So I know that within his team, they are working assiduously to help everyone who they come in contact with by putting programs into place. He's a soccer player and he have a soccer team, so that's one of those programs that people can get into. Welcome back again, Marlon. We are happy to hear you. So, from a teacher's perspective, where you don't work by yourself alone, you have others within your team who you work as an interdisciplinary team effort to help these kids. Have you ever had any? What who are involved in this team at your work? What does a team member look like? Interprofessional team.
Right. So as I said before, the behaviors that we see oftentimes, and not I don't know if I should say oftentimes, but not all the times, it's mental health related, as we can gently separate the two, behavioral health and mental health, because it's sometimes different, but you will have overlap. But we have a behavioral therapist placed in most of our schools. We also have a mental health lead for the district that supports mental illness in schools. We have school children forming groups as mental illness leaders in their groups, mental health leaders in their schools. We have the teachers playing their part, educational assistants and all. But we have a lead, a mental health lead for the district that oversees the entire program of just supporting student mental health within schools.
That's great to know.
Hmm.
It's great to know that there's a mental health lead in the district and
Hmm.
that there are counselors and people who are looking out for these kids.
Right.
There are programs that they put into place for these kids.
Hmm.
How do you know? What changes do you see to know that there is help? They are being helped. What are some of the changes? Somebody come into your football team and have some behavioral issues, and you put some skills into them, tell them about stuff, teach them different things, and what are some of the changes you see in some of these behaviors to know that they are being helped?
Well, oftentimes what I see is that the if a child is being supported, they are more able to talk about the situation without getting too emotionally attached to their own situation. So they find a balance. I realize that they kind of find a balance as to how to separate, because someone has helped them to identify that this is what is happening in your life. And as such, now they're supported with the tools to separate it and able to talk about it without it having a impact on their mental health. So that's something that I sometimes see, and it's most times, something that, the child will be, I had this issue going on, and they'll tell you, but now I'm over it, kind of thing. They will tell you outright. And that's one of the clearest indicators that I can say that I've, seen, where, I know that this child has been helped.
Okay, so they tell you, right at, I am the problem, I am,
Yeah.
I've got the help, and I'm working on it. That's so.
And even the younger ones too. The younger ones too, they sometimes tell you the same thing, that I'm going to counseling for this. They'll tell you why I'm going to counseling. So they understand. And that's the big thing, Charmaine. I didn't mean to cut you, because after, let's just take a parallel between Jamaica and Canada. When I was in Jamaica, there wasn't much that was done for mental illness. Here in Canada, I know that there's a lot, and many will probably agree or say that there's a lot, but there will be some and many that may not agree and said that there needs to be more done. But comparison to Jamaica, Canada is actually doing a lot where mental health is concerned. So if we do a comparison, yeah, but can we do more here in Canada? That's something that, the professional will have to tell us, because not sitting in those seats, sometimes you can say things that you really cannot do if you get into the position. So I'll leave the politics out of it, but I can tell you that we back home, there's not much that is done, and I believe that we need to find a way to do more. Even here in Canada, find a way to do more, because it is a serious thing, and there are many people that is suffering because of it. So just identifying these behaviors and face it and says, hey, this is happening in my life, and I am capable of dealing with it. So this, you get the tools to deal with it, and you're dealing with it, then that's a plus.
This is Impact Gospel Radio program is mental health, a holistic impact, where we come and give you tools to help you navigate the world effectively and function. So you function. So your functionality may be on par. I am still monitoring your comment boxes. I am still looking where on Instagram, where on Facebook, where on YouTube, and where on Twitter, and along with other platforms. And so we're happy that you're joining us today. We're talking about the young youths that are in school or that are in the community that might show behavioral problems or might have some mental health issues, and who are working in the community to help these people. You will get in touch with us at Impact Gospel Radio or mentalhealthhorizon.com, www.mentalhealthhorizon.com, info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. Marlon, make a point, Mr. Douglas, make a point just now that because I am Jamaican, when we're in Jamaica, we don't, well, I didn't see much being done in our community to help those persons who have behavioral issues. As a matter of fact, those who had behavioral issues, the parents would have dealt with those issues. And so I'll tell you about that when we come back. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we tell you how those issues were dealt with as a Jamaican.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you today at Impact Gospel Radio, Mental Health of Holistic Impact. We are here to provide tools and resources and knowledge to you where you can use for yourself and your family. Yes, I'm going to tell you how mental health and behavioral issues are dealt with in Jamaica when I was a young girl. So, when the parent, mostly, sometimes it's mostly single parent, when the parent sees someone who is misbehaving, that parent beat that child, and they don't hear you, they're not. Well, my parent, I don't remember my parent. When my mother would ask a question, my mother would not give my brother a chance to answer that question. I'm telling you the truth, people. My mother would say, "Why did you allow the goat to go over to somebody else's place?" My mother not waiting for that answer. My brother have nothing to say. Nothing. That was seen as a behavioral issue. Because my brother would continuously, one of my brother would continuously make this happen. And so he would get beaten. And most of the parents that I know, sometimes they don't wait to give their for you to give your opinion as a child. They don't listen attentively. They really put it into you physically. And so most of those behavioral issues that you face, you don't take it in the home. And furthermore, if you don't take it in the home and if you do it in the community, community members are going to tell your parents, and you're going to get beaten from the community member, big people in the community, and they're going to report it to your mother, your father, your parents, and you're going to get some more beaten. So you either behave or get beaten. Am I right, Mr. Douglas?
Well, definitely, yeah. That's the way our parents dealt with those situations. But I want to say, kudos and enough love, big up, respect to those parents. Not to say that was the right way, but I want to approach it from an understanding perspective, understanding that they too, as parents, didn't have the tools to deal with the situation, and as such, they did it how they understood it. So again, it's a new era. We are growing, and as such, we give thanks to mommy and daddy after pass, those who passed, those who still alive, and this is the way that they have dealt with it. But we need to also provide the tools for parents to support students and children who have mental illnesses, because like you mentioned, beaten, um, as I mentioned earlier about anxiety and withdrawal and stuff like that. The behaviors that you see as a result of mental health illnesses, it starts sometimes very subtly, and as I said, if it's not addressed, it can become very problematic. People may get into eating disorder. People may get into gambling, and you'll find a lot of gambling back home. We used to gamble back home, and then it becomes an addiction. We have substance abuse. Lots of kids growing up back home, we use marijuana, and then we abuse it. Again, it's the same thing here. You'll find kids, getting into all kind of different stuff. And if you were caught smoking marijuana, then you'll be scrolled by your parents. Again, it's a matter of not knowing how to deal with that situation where our parents took the belt or the rod as the preferred choice and the first choice in dealing with these behaviors. So we have to understand the behaviors when we see them, and also provide the tools of parents, not only teachers, not only the professional, but the professional helping the parents also to provide the support that this child need at that point in time.
You have said something else before we had gone on break. You said that in Canada there's lots of help. Where I am here in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba, there's so many programs, free programs. And what I realize is that some of the clients, they take disadvantage of the programs. They might, for instance, they might book an appointment and you're there waiting in your office for this person to come in 15 minutes after or just before, 5 minutes before. You call, the person didn't answer, and the appointed time you're going to, well, the receptionist don't call you, tell you that this person is there. You call the person and they said, oh, I forget to tell you that I wasn't going to come in. And this happened many times with more than with the same person or person that might use that program. And I realized that I work as a family therapist at one of our permanent volunteer, as a matter of fact, at one of our permanent uh, organization for youth and family. And
Mhm.
I've worked with family, and we have seen kids here that have been affected as young as 2, 3. They start showing behavioral issues 2, 3, 4. They get worse at 5 because a split might go on into the family. The other parent bad mouthing the other parent, causing all these things or other various factors that might bring on those behavioral issues. And so these are things
Mhm.
that we did not have in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, I didn't hear or know about depression until I come here. I didn't know what it looks like. I didn't know because most times if I feel down, if I go for a job interview and I didn't get the job, I go into my bed and just think, why didn't I get the job? What did I not do? How did I not do it? Why what question? Just self-examine, sleep, wake up, brush myself off, and said, okay, go look another job. And most, if not, most of Jamaicans would be like that. So we didn't know about the depression and the anxiety. Know that these knowledge, as brother brother Douglas said before, are being opened up to us, where we have the opportunity. You have Google, you have other search engine that you can go and look what behavioral issues that are being displayed, and how can I fix this? How can I address this in my family? Parents, you have a responsibility for your children to help them to listen non-judgmentally, to monitor their behavior. Don't say you're going to be a spy now, because nobody like to be spied on, and not children. Don't spy on them like you're a private investigator. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is form that parent-child relationship, a healthy one, where they come to you and tell you things that they might otherwise not do. And listen, sit, watch movies with them, pamper them, love them, give them that give them that sense of worth, that sense of esteem, that sense of confidence, so that they can go into the world and become better persons to family and to friends and to everyone. Is there any other last word that you would want to say, Mr. Douglas?
Well, again, thank you for the work that you have been doing in this area, Charmian, because it's a big, 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 big job. And as you said earlier, there's lots to be done. Um, I would just, have parents just thinking about how best you can support your child during these times, because I know many have lost theirs to mental illnesses. Um, and my condolences to those, if you have any, like, you know person listening. But just be on the lookout and give the child the support that they need in this time. I mean, adults do, but as a teacher, I'm focused here on the children, because we see, the eating disorders, we see the gambling, the smoking, the drug abuse. We see them, and as I said before, back home, that would be dealt with the rod. But our students know we need more methodical approach, and to support these children. Strategies to support these children. So wherever you can find the information, not only here, wherever you can, because you won't get everything in a 30-minute show or a 45-minute show. But reach out. The information is there. Reach out, and you can get the support from Charmian, the host, and yeah, support your children as they go through these difficult times, because you go on the social media and people. I don't want to go too long on this, Charmian, but there was a rating app that someone was telling me about the other day at school, maybe 2 weeks ago. A rating app where kids go on and they probably answer a couple questions and then it rate you as a 3 or a 5 or a 6 or a 10. And after you're doing this rating, people are seeing it on your profile. So all your friends, everyone that goes to that school is seeing that you were rated as a 3. Now, when you go to the school, when you go back to school the next day, you're not going to feel good about yourself. So I would also, just have parents caution their kids as to what they do on social media, and yeah, you're watching social media, seeing all kind of fancy this and fancy that, and you want to be there too, and then you become like you have low self-esteem because you don't have this and other have this. There's a lot. So parents, I would just implore you, just ask you right now, beg you, reach out and get the support that is necessary, because our youths are in a desperate place.
You hear, or youths are in a desperate place. As much as the internet can help us with research, the internet can also damage us. The internet, there's cyberbullying, people bully people on the internet. And there are lots of movies where you see how devastating it can become to the family, especially that child who can go and hurt themselves and hurt others. And don't forget, most of those, I don't want to say it here, but I must say, school incident where people died from gunshot. I don't know if Facebook would allow me to use that word. Are some of them, most of them are related to mental health distortion and bullying and stuff that they didn't deal with them properly. And so not only does that behavioral issues affect that family, it affects others in the community. It's a spiral thing going on. And most of us are afraid to seek help because of what people are saying or will say, and the stigma surrounding mental health. It doesn't mean you have a mental health, a diagnosis of a mental health. It means that you're experiencing something that you need to get help for. Anxiety, depression, stress. Severe stress can play a big part in our life where negatively. And so we need, I plead with you. I don't know how else to do it, but welcome. We're happy to have you. This is Impact Gospel Radio. This program is mental health, a holistic impact. We want to thank Marlon Douglas for being here with us. We want to thank our producer and Dr. Omar Rotti, who's in the studio, and Safti, the dog, is here as well, playing over there, eating up the gut card or something. So we will see you next week, same time, Monday evening, 6:30 p.m. Winnipeg time, 7:30 p.m. New York time and Jamaica time. It was great to be here with you today. Thank you. Bye.
Impact Gospel Radio and Mental Health Horizon. All information posted or aired is merely for educational purposes and is not a substitute for seeking further professional advice. While the information aired has been verified to the best of our abilities, we cannot guarantee there are no mistakes or errors. We reserve the right to change this policy at any time. If you want to stay up to date with the latest mental health information, please visit our website at www.mentalhealthhorizon.com, book an appointment at info@mentalhealthhorizon.com, or tune into the broadcast every Monday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.